At once, mistress. She serves the tea and it's like, yes. I don't. You see, I asked Oliver, who was a visitor from the Elven clans from the forest. He visits often here. If he could track down a few things for me. One of them was some radishes, rare radishes. He did. Well, his turtle friend did, but it cost him his life. Apparently, they had a fight with some nasty creatures. They did not come up top.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, and I would hesitate to. How can I say this? I would hesitate to put you in a position where you have to risk your life for something like that. I take it that the other two things that I would require are not so hard to get, hopefully. But you still have to go to the wilderness and deal with whatever is out there.
Well,
that's why I wouldn't go myself. If you're still interested, I could tell you what it is, but I would loathe to put someone else in danger for these things.
Well, feel free to tell me.
Yes, there were 3 ingredients. One of them was the radishes, which I have plenty of. The other one is water from the Jewel River head, the spring that creates the Jewel River. And the third would be, royal jelly from a man that I only know as the beekeeper, who is lives deeper in the forest. I require these things to, among other things, make more potent healing potions and salves and the like. I promised Oliver that if he needed any of those things, then of course it would much be easier and therefore cheaper, if not, in this case, free. At least for my first batch. But I guess that was too low a payment. It cost him his life. Again, I loathe to,
Yeah. Well, I will be happy to look into this. Now, you said that there was a turtle that was part of that group.
Yes.
Do you know where they are?
Rather taciturn fellow, considering.
Okay.
He usually hangs out in the gateway. It must be the inn that you saw when you came into town. Southern entrance. Lively area. You might ask for Master Davenport. He runs the establishment. Mm-hmm. If he's not there, he might tell you where he can find him.
Well, very well. I shall take my leave. And you just...
She gets up, yes, like, and if you need anything, I am always available. Just be careful, please. I would hate for someone else to lose their life for such just an errand, really.
Of course. I will be ever vigilant. And yeah, he leaves.
Yeah. Griffin, you still working on it?
Yeah. I have just about everything ready. I just have not figured out what this man's bonds or flaws are just yet.
Okay.
But I could go ahead and just throw them out there if you want.
No, it's we can move this action forward until at least party members get back. And yeah, you go. Is Gar in the gateway, or he's hanging out somewhere else?
Oh yeah, no, he's probably back at the inn, drinking a bowl of hot water.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You see a human come in. Describe our new fellow, as he enters.
Okay, so yeah, his name is Arden. He's fairly tall, like quite well built. Even you can see it under the chainmail. And he has the symbol of the Triskelion on. He has piercing blue eyes and jet black hair, kind of cut short. And just kind of, he's probably he's fairly young, like early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the inn is fairly. It's lunchtime, so people are coming in and out, basically grabbing some quick lunch as they're working around town, etc. And you see this relatively. I think that the guard is about 6 foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know, I keep saying that, but let me just double check real quick. I think I put it in the bio. Oh yeah, 6 foot.
Yeah, you see
6 foot, 400 pounds.
Yeah, it's
mottled
gigantic.
Brown skin, no hair, green gray eyes.
This gigantic tortoise, basically, or turtle. Sitting at a table, so not on the table, but on a chair on the table, and drinking from a large bowl. And people apparently don't seem to mind him any much more. But to you, it's a very strange. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
But clearly, it fits the description as in, the only turtle around that apparently drinking water with hands.
Okay. Yeah, that would. Yeah. So he kind of like walks over, and says, "Greetings. Are you Master Gar?"
No. I am Gar, though.
Okay. He's a little bit confused by that. It's like, okay. Greetings and well met. My name is Andon. I hear that you were sent on an errand and had lost your companions.
Oh, I didn't lose them. I know exactly where they are. Probably still there. Well, unless the kobolds are cannibals.
Right. I'm not even going to dig into that. And he says, well, I'm here to... I've been signed up to the headhunters, and I'm here to help you with whatever errand we're to go on next.
Yes, I believe the beekeeper is next on the list. As I think the other things around him are probably in the same area.
And you know this
Good,
exact
have a seat.
location? Yeah, and he takes a seat.
Water?
Sure, yeah, I'll have some water. Looks around.
I guess I'll look over towards the bartender. Another bowl of hot water, please.
They do that. They don't charge you for it, basically.
That's why I'm always eating it. Or drinking it, rather.
Yeah, they don't.
You see, the trick is that they don't clean their bowls all that often. So a fine layer of grime accrues across the top. And you get a little bit of nutrients. See, the hot water helps it grow.
The system.
Like, Andon's just going to be polite and just go,
It's warmed up water, basically.
It's definitely water. Thank you. And just kind of looking around. This is probably the first time that I've properly left Greyhawk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is much smaller. I mean, Greyhawk is the city, cosmopolitan, etc. The fact that you have seen, for example, a lot of tieflings. Just say tieflings for some reason. I'm thinking of TIE Fighter. Tieflings and some others, but a total is that's the first time I've ever seen. Right? Dwarves, gnomes, and it's most majority is a human city. There's even rumors that there is one inn that is run by a half giant or hill giant. Never been there, but that's sort of the rumor that flies. Nobody seems to either see the giant or people exaggerate about him, right? And there's all kinds of like different human cultures that mix and match as well. So, but even then, this is clearly a smaller town, right? out in the boonies, so to speak, and not as well, not as cosmopolitan. So, but yeah, it's very much what you expect when people describe people in the fringes, right? Except it's a little bit, except for the mud trampled by the snow, more clean than you expect.
Yeah.
Which is saying something.
Yeah, and I'm desperately trying not to stare at the. You know when someone is obviously not trying to look directly at something?
Mhm.
That's what he's essentially doing. He's just gonna look at the water, don't stare at the giant turtle across from you.
I mean, the trick to do would be to stare at me in the reflection of the water. I say in character.
Yeah.
Because everyone's
well,
staring at me. Everyone's been staring at me. I understand.
it's just I've never seen your kind before.
Well, there's a lot of intelligent species on this world. Or
Oh.
under it.
Yeah, of course. It's just we don't get any of your kind in Greyhawk that I know.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. I have no comments to make about Greyhawk.
Yeah, so he just extends his hands and says, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Anden.
Yes. Yes, you introduced yourself once already. What are your skills? What are you good at?
Well, I am.
Can you cook?
Can I cook? Can I cook? That's the thought. My skills aren't really related to cooking.
What about entertainment? Are you a good entertainer? Can you tell a good story?
I guess, yeah. I could
You
probably.
would be surprised how good a good story can keep you going when you're out there camping.
Yeah.
One might say it could be the difference between life and death. Or the bridge in between.
Yeah. Says, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty good at telling stories, singing songs.
So a
I'm
bard.
told. No, I'm not a bard. I'm a paladin of Dragoon. So.
No, so more like a skald.
No, no, that's more of a pastime. My my skills more lie in with the martial side of things. I can also heal people.
Are you good at scouting the wilderness?
Well, I'm more used to the city because I've just come from Greyhawk. But like I said, I'm pretty good with a sword, and
So my
I'm
next
good at healing.
question being about finding food and whatnot in the wilds. I'm gonna say no again, right?
That's correct.
So you came out here to the edge of the world for what reason?
To do good and to help people. That's what my faith teaches.
So long as that good is at the end of a sword.
Not always at the end of a sword.
But your only other thing you're good at is telling stories.
I'm good at healing people as well.
Right, after you beat them up, apparently.
He's just like shaking his head. Yeah, well, I only beat up people that do that are bad. Like, I don't just beat up random people.
Oh, so you live in a world of white and black.
Well, everyone isn't, inherently good until
How
they do
bad do you have to
something bad.
be before you beat them up?
Well, before I beat them up.
Right, let's say someone's cheating on their taxes. Do you beat that person up? Because that's bad.
It's just if they do something, evil.
How do you define evil?
Like murder? Or like robbing people? Or
Okay, so
banditry?
taking someone's stuff is just as bad as killing them.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it is punishable.
By beating them up.
Well, beating them up and then taking them to the authorities, not killing them.
But say you did beat somebody up until they were dead. By accident. Let's say by accident. Are you now evil?
No, because that was not my intent to murder them.
So intent is the reason behind good and evil.
It's just kind of,
I'm sorry,
I guess.
you went to like school for this, right? You're not just making it up as you go.
No, I'm not.
Right, okay, so you do know.
Yeah, is that correct? That it's essentially it's the intent of things rather than the action.
Okay. So if somebody accidentally kills a lot of people in the course of trying to do something good, are they now evil?
Just kind of pause.
Say a king is trying to feed his people, and in the process he accidentally starves another group of people who now die because of his actions he did in the course of trying to save his own people. An evil cause for trying to do a good thing. Is that king now evil?
I don't know. I'm just an acolyte. I've literally just left the temple.
Oh, okay. You should have led with that. Now I understand.
This is the deepest discussion this bar has ever heard, by the way.
And Andon's just like, he started off chipper, and his face is just slowly going, like, what have I got myself into?
Alright, well, at least I know what your skill set is. Glad to have you aboard, Muscle.
Yes, this shall be interesting. It's just kind of looking around to see if there's anyone else joining them.
Yeah. So let's go to what's with Kicks.
Yes, kicks.
What's your racial background? What's the
background I went with is folk hero.
okay? No, but I mean to say the dragon said that you're
I went ahead and went with red.
also red dragon. Yeah. Okay. There are tribes far to the south in the mountains of red dragonborn. The problem with that is that they actually serve their mistress who created them. It's an alchemical process, and Vreeze, I believe, is the. Let me see. I do have her names. Eves the Swift, or also known as the Eves the Even-Handed, which is a huge ancient red dragon. Your parents decided that they were not going to serve her anymore and fled when you were young, but they didn't make it very far. And so you were essentially you were raised not in Narwhal, but nearby in a sort of small village, as you were taken in by some humans. And if you want to change this in any way, you please let me know. Then just
This is all sounding pretty good so far.
Yeah, and of course you stood out, especially as you grew. Scales, great strength, etc. People were weary of you. There was even a situation where you accidentally nearly burned down a barn, and
we like to laugh about that one and forget the damages and the price I have to pay for it.
And there was basically a crowd that came in to bring you to justice because of this abomination. But the village priest of Paler, Rao actually, stood before you and stopped the crowd and said that one should not judge anyone by the mere appearance, but by their actions. And you took those words to heart, right? I don't know if your character is particularly religious of any one deity, but those seems like wise words. And so you worked hard to be an outstanding citizen in this small village. And you earned the trust of people. But in time, and that's why you became sort of a folk hero. You were always helping people out, going out of your way to help. And so stories of this sort of, eventually you learned that you were in fact a dragonborn, spread. But over time, of course, you wanted to go for greener pastures, and you started spending more and more time in Narwhal.
Right.
One of those people that come in and out, right? And you heard about, and in fact, you probably even met Oliver, and you heard about what happened to him, and to some others. And you also heard that they were looking to expand, originally expand, but now, of course, fill in the blanks of the spaces of the headhunters. It's like, well, that's probably the best
sort of job I've heard so far. And if Olarbin's not there anymore, then they need a strong individual to be there to guide them, much as he occasionally did when he wandered in randomly every now and then.
Mm-hmm. And so you find someone Narwhal and stopping by, the gateway as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason is that the you get along very well with the tavern owner, who from stories that he was a former adventurer, right? Mercenary and served many purposes. So he's always a good person to catch up and get a story and his old days, etc. So you're coming in, and you also heard about the strange, to you, perhaps not as strange, in that both of you stand out. This sort of turtle fellow, right? In fact, some people when they see you, they sort of make a joke that you're not the only scaly fellow around anymore, right?
Well, I'll have to see that for myself.
And so they point out the gateway, and so you come in, you see this turtle fellow and a human in armor, who seems to be another warrior, in a discussion. And Jimmy's behind the bar. It's like, oh, hey, Kix, another ale?
Yes, absolutely. I'm parched after walking for so far.
But he sights it over the bar. It's like, there you go.
Swipe it up, take a good drink. Well then. Well, you two look new around here.
Those two over there?
Yeah.
That's I watched that turtle fellow. It doesn't seem like a bad person, but he seems to, I don't know, he starts talking and his head starts to hurt.
And I think at this point you probably hear from the back of the room, so all I'm saying is that if in the course of trying to save your friends, you accidentally kill them, does that make you evil?
Oh, one of those dizzying intellects, I see.
Apparently so.
It's like,
Now, and tell me if I'm right on this. He's already been hired by the Reeve, hasn't he?
Yes. He was in fact with them. I mean, Lady Vatra and Oliver when they said something about. I don't want to speak ill of. I wasn't there, but something about setting something on fire. I didn't get it. Confusing.
I see. Oh, I suppose speaking of, do you know where their graves are? I'd like to visit Olarbin's at least once.
Apparently he was the only fellow that came back and wasn't able to carry the bodies back. He would know where they lay, I suppose.
Unfortunate. Well, I suppose at least I should go say hello to them. Especially if I'm going to get a job. So, I'll go ahead and walk over.
Yeah. So,
and I guess I should go ahead and at least describe what's being seen here. According to how I've laid this out, Gygax is a absolute muscle of a being. Absolutely smothered in armor with a very large shield.
You have seen Dragonborn. To Adam, yeah, you have seen Dragonborn. They're rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even in Greyhawk, you've seen a few of them.
Yeah.
Mostly sorcerers or wizards that attend the school, the different universities or schools of magic.
Well,
probably the ones I would have seen are probably a lot more emaciated, slaves of the Underdark.
Yeah. And then I just go, oh, thank Trifevian. Hello, sir.
Well, I wasn't interrupting anything at all, was I?
No, not interrupting at all.
Oh, good. Well, you two seem like fine folk and new around these parts. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kix. Some call me Kix the Shield. It's a pleasure to meet you two.
I love people who have mononym names. My name's Gar.
It's all the better for people to remember me.
Yeah, I mean, unless you encounter somebody else with the same name, then it gets really confusing.
Well, show me another Kix and I will duel them for the privilege.
And well met. My name is Andon.
Andon. Oh,
Yes.
what a pleasure.
He just kind of like holds his hand out to shake yours.
And I'm to understand you were traveling with Olurban before. Is that correct?
It's twice now no one shook your hand. I love it. Yeah, I was traveling with Olurban.
Then I'm to understand there's perhaps an open position under the Reeve right now.
I mean, I would understand that too, if he's hiring for the same number of positions lost.
Well, I understand. I remember Olurban is a capable fighter, and without him, perhaps you might need one more?
Well, I seem to recall he at least swung 2 swords around.
I've known him to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times he actually hit anything with it. Seems like a rather unpredictable fighting style.
Still, I am here, and I am here to be his replacement then.
Oh, okay, so you've already talked to the Reeve. I don't know why you asked me that last question then. That was weird.
Well, no, I haven't, but I will be.
Oh, okay, so it's uncertain then if the Reeve will actually hire you.
Well, you seem to be the only other person here who's been hired right now.
Well, there's 2 other people wandering around.
I can't find that damn gnome. He's always hiding from me. He knows I watch him.
Gnome? I thought he was a halfling.
Gnome, halfling, I don't care what he is anymore.
How do you know what he is? Have you met him? You've met him already.
Yes, once.
Oh, you're from here. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's right.
Ah, okay. So that's why you think you're a shoo-in.
Of course.
Okay.
Who else? Who else would take his place?
I don't know. I haven't met everybody in town, nor do I intend to.
Well, let me relieve you here and say that you need not do that at all. The replacement is right here and the decision has been made.
Well, by you anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why it's been made.
Nick seems to be against it. He was just waving his arms like, no. So. Well, what do you bring to the table?
I bring to the table a sword, shield, and a tactical mindset.
Well, that's what this guy brings. Can you cook?
I can burn things.
So no.
No, that's correct.
Well, okay. How good are you in a forest?
As I said, I used to be some sort of associate to Olurban. I've learned at least a few things from him.
So you can find food in the wilds?
Yes.
All right. I guess that's one step above. How good are you with storytelling? Can you entertain, dance, sing, play an instrument?
I am insulted at the idea that I would be here to entertain others. I'm here to save others and fight for them.
Yeah, but inspiring the hearts and minds of others can, push them on to greater heights.
Or perhaps you haven't noticed, I'm a hero.
Right, heroes tell tales of their exploits.
And everybody turns around when you say that. I'm a hero. It was like, okay, this got interesting. Okay, everybody's listening. Now the entire people coming in and picking the lunches.
And a hero like me is one who stands up to all challenges, and that is what I am here for.
So you have no stories of that actually happening, though?
Oh, that I do. I don't mean that they'll be entertaining, but
otherwise you've never been tested, in which case you're not a hero. You're just some braggart telling stories. Well, not even that. You can't tell any stories.
Once I saved a whole village by myself, you see.
I mean, Andon here can tell stories.
As long as I could.
Is that it?
What I'm known for.
2 sentences? No details.
Again, I said I wasn't an entertainer. I hope that's proof enough for you, then.
No, but even a hero can entertain a child with a story of exploit, to inspire, to make them rise to greater heights. A true hero could do that.
Well, you certainly are able to say a lot of words, but you're not very entertaining yourself, if I may say.
I'm already hired.
But not for your clever wit or your storytelling abilities.
No.
I believe the bartender just wants to talk to me, so I'm just going to go over there.
Oh, yes, of course. And I don't even look in your direction.
Oh, are you finished with that? And I point to the water.
Sure, drink it.
Oh, yeah, I just pour his bowl into my bowl.
I'm just looking at the innkeeper like, help.
Probably sip off the edges where it might be overflow.
He's like, come on, lad. What can I do for you? What's your custom?
Yeah, I'll just have an ale.
An ale it is, yes. So you met Kix, have you?
Yeah, I've met Kix and the other one. The other, it's like, already there's like PTSD in his eyes.
Yeah, we seem to be attracting quite a, what's the word I'm looking for? Menagerie. Well, I wouldn't say that so loud to the turtle fellow. Wish you salted. But here, Jimmy, coming. It's like, of course, you know. That's on the house. On the surface of Hyterion, always welcome in the gateway.
Yeah. He smiles and says, well, cheers. And then kind of goes to, like, they're kind of like sitting fairly close to each other. He's going to go to like the other side of the table and just sit drinking.
I don't know that Kix has even sat down yet. I know
No.
Kix is still
I've been
lording
standing
over
at the
me.
table,
And
just like occasionally pounding my hand on the table to make a point. That's all
Yeah.
I do.
Is that what a hero does?
I don't come in
Insults
here
others?
to eat. I said I'm a hero, and if you want to cast aspersions to me, then I hope you have some way to prove it or back it up. But that is what I am here for.
Oh, far be from me to cast aspersions. Far be from me to cast aspersions. I'm simply asking what you can do in service to the mission. And so far, all I'm hearing is I can beat people up. And I'm already getting from that guy. And I point to the place where Andon isn't anymore. And then slowly pan around. And then, there you are, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except, he can heal people. And apparently can tell stories.
Is that all you're looking for? Just someone to entertain you?
Someone to inspire.
Then, if I am at the lead, then I shall be that inspiration by action.
I've heard that before. From dead men.
Well, I have the benefit over them then in being alive, don't I?
Well, that's a benefit you both shared by sunrise this morning.
And what about you? What exactly did you bring to your little party here?
A certain je ne sais quoi.
Oh, yes, of course. Quite a volume of words as well, I notice.
Indeed.
But I think I've heard the word around town was that there was a bit of a fire when you went out there.
Well, no, there was a fire during our expedition, not when we were out there.
I see. Some sort of fight?
Indeed.
I see. And what would you have to say about this fight? What was your role in it?
Survivor.
What did you do? Ah, so you didn't do anything then?
Well, I caused the fire.
But you didn't win anything.
Yeah.
And in fact, 2 of your friends are dead.
I think I won, and that I'm alive.
I would say, in
A
fact,
benefit.
you're a very poor mercenary.
A benefit you and I share.
And in fact, perhaps more poor than others. I say just like looking at the fact that you're just drinking water and only water.
I don't know. I'd argue that I'm at least 3 times richer than I was the other day.
Oh, so also a vulture. Ah, yes. All people need a vulture.
No, I probably share more in common racially with you than I do with vulture.
I think you'll find we're quite different already.
Yes, I think we will find that we are quite different. One of us likes to insult others and the other's a hero.
Well, you seem to enjoy your games, and at least there's one more person in town who can keep up now.
I'd like to meet them.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, of course, and I'll go ahead and turn my head over to what's your new character called?
Andon.
Andon. I'll look over to Andon and it's like, and you as well, my friend.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Great pleasure. I intend to go speak with the Reeve, actually.
Well,
you want to come along with me? I could put in a good word for you.
I've already spoken to the Reeve, actually.
Oh, well, now I have to go speak to him alone.
Yes, Andon here is already 2 steps ahead of you.
Oh, he's also been in town longer.
Well, seems like I guess he's 3 steps ahead of you then.
And I'll go ahead. I'll turn back to the innkeeper and go, I'll be back for dinner.
Right. I'll be waiting. We cautious tonight, sir.
And Andon's looking at him like, please don't leave me alone.
He gave you the branch. He tried to save you.
Back to the dissertation on the nature of being.
You need my help? Oh, okay, yeah, I'm going. He's just quickly walking after him.
Yeah. You may quickly make it over to the Reeves office, and again, there's a guard. It's like, and he bows slightly to Andon. It's like, oh, Kix, haven't seen you in a while. What brings you here?
It's a pleasure to see you. Well, I heard the unfortunate fate of our friend Ollerben.
It happens when you go out there. Wild,
Indeed.
difficult world. They don't call this place the Wild Coast for nothing, I suppose.
That's very true. Though I never expected he would be taken down by anything out here. Always seems so confident.
There's something about a fire I heard. I'm not really sure. I don't have all the details.
I don't either, but, well, I'd say at least looking at a few of the people who've been hired, I'm not exactly, what's the proper word here? Inspired, may I say, by the turtle?
That's a
or the gnome.
Oh, I haven't seen Runt in a while.
Well, good. He's probably hiding somewhere then.
Or he's causing mischief, but he always does.
Yes. Keep him at sword's length. Still, I assume Ollerben used to be their guide, wasn't he?
Pretty much so, yeah.
Unfortunate that he's gone. He probably knew the most of any of us. But, well, I could at least take a position as such, or otherwise, in this new party of headhunters I've heard you've been arranging.
Oh, I haven't. You're talking to the guard outside.
The guard. I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to Reeve this whole time.
But you're talking, and he's like, it's just the watchman's there.
You're much more than a watchman. You're a hero, and I slap him on the back. You stand up against all challenges. You, sir, are a man.
You're average height, and so when you slap him, and it's like, right. That's a good.
See, standing right back up. That's the mark of a true hero. There.
Yeah.
Perhaps what the turtle doesn't understand.
Well then, should I tell him that you're here to see him?
Oh yes, of course. Oh well, I mean, it's been fun talking to you, but I should actually do some business, shouldn't I?
Yes. Just step inside in the waiting room. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
And he goes in. And he just, again, takes 10, 15 minutes. It's like,
yeah.
Come in.
All right, I'll go ahead, step in. My lord, my Reeve.
Kix, didn't expect to see you here. And see you again, young paladin.
Oh, did he actually come along?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still at the tavern, trapped.
No.
And yes, take a seat. What can I help you with, Kix?
Yeah, I'll slowly sit down, armor clanking, put the shield up, and just go.
You have to look for a different chair because you have a tail, and so you have to accommodate.
Yeah, maybe find one of the stools or something instead, pull it closer, have the whole awkward 5 minutes of just setting up to sit down.
But he's nonchalant. He understands. Yes.
Yes.
He doesn't want to say he's a very busy man because he knows you by reputation and here, so he doesn't want to be rude. But at first he's like,
yeah. But now that I get like the conversation back to my head here, I definitely know his disposition. I'm going. So you're arranging the headhunters again, are you?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am. I did pull out the call a few weeks ago.
I had a thing. There was this girl, you see, and well, I'm here now anyway.
And for the briefest moment, his mask of like being very diplomatic, sort of like just because he rolls his eyes, like not the like, oh my god, it's more like, wait a minute, how does that work? And he's like, oof.
I spent a lot of time thinking about it too. Don't put it out of your mind, I assure you.
And quickly he just comes back and faces like, yes, of course. That's okay. Where to go? And so you're answering now. You're available now.
Indeed.
I see.
I'm free to be at your service.
Well, it's one for you then. I was already explaining to the champion of Fritharian here, the gentleman ended. The Oliban and his and the lady Vashra were doing some business for the alchemist, Lady Katrina, and so sure that did you get to see her and she did explain to this the nature of the job?
I haven't yet, but I could probably understand the gist of it. She probably wants some ingredients or something, doesn't she?
Well, I meant Adam. So Adam, I believe that you spoke to her last time.
Wait.
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. Well, then yes, and I also believe that the Firebears are also looking for someone or something to work with.
Of course.
Again, I do not have the details, and of course, there's always a call to deal with any and all bandits that you find in your way and dispatching them as you see fit. But we haven't had any intelligence on that front, although I expect that they will pick up again once the thaw comes, which should be soon.
All right. No one likes being out there in the cold, least of all me. But as soon as it gets warm again, they'll just swarm out, hungry and in need of gold.
Indeed. So, well, is there anything else I can do for you, Fix?
Oh, I'm assuming he's already basically just said, yeah, I'm on it, and he doesn't even have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go, I think that's all. I guess, though, I do just have the one question. That turtle isn't in charge, is he?
I leave the internal affairs of the particular groups. The headhunters have always been, well, headstrong and self-organizing, as it were. So I leave that entirely up to you. Unless, of course, he violates any laws or regulations of the town and causes more trouble than it's worth, then I don't
imagine he's more likely to cause an assault than start one at this point.
Is he?
The joke here is that he's going to infuriate someone into punching him.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't seem to talk to him. A lot of people don't seem to talk to him. He's just become a fixture in town. So, well, not a problem, I guess. At least not yet. I expected Masha should have been the one starting all our fights, but well, having a big axe prevents people from doing that, or did. And he shakes his head like.
Well, as a third person here to have far too much confidence in their own fighting abilities, I can assure you things will go differently this time.
Very well. Then, well, if that's all, then I have to get back to it.
Then to work, I will go as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And just bow and leave.
He returns to bow. People out, like, oh, I hope. So how'd it go in there, Kicks? That's the watchman outside. Who's, he's rubbing his hands, and it's like it's bloody cold. Yeah.
Wonderfully, really.
No.
I have exactly the position I need and all the go-ahead to do it.
Oh, well, lucky you then. Yeah, lucky you.
I don't be like that. You'll at least be inside and you'll be warm.
In about an hour.
You get to
I
go
think.
back outside.
Anyway, then.
Summer
Good
can't
luck, then.
come fast enough. Thank you. I'll go
Sure.
ahead and yeah.
Maybe she'll be with you better than she was with. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm afraid. And so you leave. So now again, you have the still standing mission of finding the other two ingredients.
Mhm.
You have also the talk about the mine, right? Although I don't know if Nebraska actually never told anybody else about that.
I assumed we shared information.
Gar was
Yeah.
there as well.
Okay, yeah.
About what now?
About the mine,
The mine.
dwarven.
Well,
Right.
yes, I remember I specifically told Andon that the next step would be the beekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because, as we've already stated, the beekeeper and the mine are probably nearest to one another anyway.
Yep.
It was covered when we brought it up that they're probably roundish the same hexes. Speaking of hexes, did we not fully explore where the great tree is?
Yes, you did.
Okay,
Yes.
so is the thing coming out of it that the great tree is attached to, is that considered the exploration of that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pin. Once the pin is resolved, you know that there's something.
Well, I didn't
there,
know if that
so.
counted as a pin or if it was like where the town is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm basically I bought a pack of pins, so I'm using them to mark any.
No, I understand that, but I didn't know if the pins represented exploration and the things that are in it are just the things that we found there. Like if there was like 4 things in a hex, if just having those there and having a pin there are 2 different things.
Well, I'm using a red pin when there's nothing there.
Okay. I thought the
So
red pin just meant that it's fully explored, we're done.
Yeah, it is, but I'm using the red pin for, well, you explored and found nothing of, so you don't have to backtrack and go like, oh, did we explore this empty lot again? It's like, yeah, you did.
Right. I just meant like if there was the great tree there, but there's also like the ruins of a fortress. If there's 2 things there, if not having a red pin denoted that there was still more to uncover in a hex.
Yeah, no, you just make a series of rolls and you find what you're looking for.
Got it.
If there's more than one, there'll be more than one, and you get to choose where to go.
Understood.
Okay, doke. So I guess we should choose which way we're going to head out then.
Yep.
Are you gonna come get me first?
I
mean, as far as I know, you guys have just left that office and are now leaving town.
I suppose we should go get him, shouldn't we?
And then told Kix, he was talking to me about a beekeeper in the woods. Maybe we could just go get that ourselves.
Yeah, we head back.
Yeah, go to the tavern. Good news!
I am already wearing my pajamas.
We're heading out immediately.
All right. Is it the same day?
It is.
It is. So it's Wednesday afternoon. You might.
Is it the same day that all the others died?
No. It's been several
That
days
took
later.
a couple days to get back.
Okay,
anyway.
so I have my spell slot back. Just want to make sure. That's all.
But you said it's already evening, so I guess I'm saying like we head out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you said we were leaving now.
We'll leave in the dark.
I've adjusted my text.
Who are you
based on
talking
information
as,
I have.
Lessons? Who are you talking as?
I'm just a GM talking to the players. If you want to leave in the dark,
It's
that's
just the
entirely-
omniscient spirit of understanding the time. That's all.
I just say you said it in a tone of voice that made me
feature of
think you were
town.
talking as a character. It's like, wait, who are you?
guy to the left. Yeah. Well, so in which direction the night passes? If you're gonna rest, and which
Southwest.
Which direction are you heading?
Southwest.
Yeah,
Southwest.
straight
I
into the
see
forest.
this compass rose like thing in B4. So southwest, I think, is the actual direction that we would be going in.
Yeah, this is tilted, but honestly, up is north forever.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
no. According to the compass rose, north is tilted to the left. So, if we head south...
But I have
no,
to tell
sorry. If
my
we head...
brain.
Well, no, because if you head west and then south, that's the direction of map down.
Yep.
Right.
So, ultimately, this hex.
This one right here.
That's right. Into the forest.
Okay. Well, then roll your survival and your investigation.
All right, so you taking hold of survival still?
I don't know. Are you any good at investigation now? You
I
chose
put
to
an
be
insight.
antagonistic when I asked you what your skill set was.
There we go. Yes, I'm good at investigation. That was insight for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm not good at investigation.
Well,
That's
it's
not a
too
skill
late.
I can
I've already
choose.
rolled survival, and I got my owl giving me advantage. So that's a
That's
22.
okay. I can still do that.
No,
I'm
How
still
are you-
smart.
Say, how are you not good and you got a +2?
Nice.
Because your claim is that I am good, and all I have is a +3.
yeah, you spent the entire day, because it takes you a day to clear the... Well, actually, it takes you more now because you don't have Olivrin, who was a ranger of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you spend the entire day just searching the forest, and you find nothing of consequence, at least in that hex.
Boop.
Yep. So now you
Southwest again.
southwest it is. Okay. Well, you have to
Hey.
rest. You have to rest because you spend the entire day.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
It'll be nightfall before you.
So I'm gonna start marking my rations.
Because we move 12 hours a day. All right. So who's
Well,
taking...
no, it's not movement. Is that searching a hex?
I was being facetious.
Okay, so make your. What are you gonna roll?
Well, we know nobody's rolling cooking.
Yeah.
So you're going for rations.
So I say, and in probably entertainment.
Yeah.
I will do survival.
For the hunt.
Yeah, both. I mean, it helps that I've got the owl. So.
Ah, that was terrible. Even with +5.
Camping. So what does
Yeah,
that
but we
leave
already
me
know
here with?
through experience, it's still probably a better story than Kix would tell. 15 on survival.
Yeah, you find something to eat. Yeah. So.
I had to eat it raw though, because nobody's good at cooking.
I mean, I'll go ahead and give it a try, and I'll just roll straight intelligence.
Or do you want to be one watch?
I'm going to do cooking.
Well, but that's a good rabbit. It's a hearty meal. Everybody roll a 1d4 plus con for the advantage and temporary hit points.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, is that okay? That's right. Entertainment provides the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first time we did this, I rolled a 1. The second time I did this, I rolled a 1.
We're really getting the advantage out of this, you know.
Well, the thing is that the temporary hit points would go away the next time we move to another hex. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you know, something terrible could happen to us.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. 6.
At the very least, I haven't used my inspiration yet, so I still got the old one.
Mm-hmm.
So fighting with spiders, for example, that would have helped.
Well, no, because because my spells were 1 magic missile, which doesn't miss, acid splash, which is a save on their side, so nothing there, and burning hands, which again was a save on their side. Literally, there's nothing.
I mean the other characters, the ones that were frontlining.
Yeah, Olivrin already used his, and
yeah,
and Vasha did use hers, and she failed. She rolled a 1 and a 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I might be very, about the fact that you guys died, but I do remember exactly everything about your deaths.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So you're gonna move over here, right?
That's the idea.
Okay,
Yep,
that's survival
southwest.
and investigation then.
I'm really good at this.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not just continual luck.
Okay,
25.
and this is very important because while you are not finding the beekeeper, you do find a logging camp. We're gonna put you in that camp because you have an advantage.
Well, I mean, to the best of our previous intelligence, the beekeeper should be 2 more hexes to the northwest anyway. So.
All right then.
So since you have some very high rolls, you can start over here in the top. It's daytime. It's late afternoon, so you cover the area very well, and you see what you see before you at the bottom here.
I do like that my token is never going to get resized right. Just make me a giant.
Also, the squares are off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's just going to be a perpetual flaw. Don't worry about it.
That's the problem about finding maps that already have them on there.
You can fix that.
You can, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I tried, and resizing the maps can be a pain.
Yeah, I've tried resizing the map or resizing the scale of the hexes on Roll20, and sometimes they just, like, they'll line up on one side, and you look at the other half, and they're disaligned, and it's like...
Oh, no, there's a new system in there where you basically select the equivalent of, I think, is 9 squares, and it just, like, kind of instantly, like, clicks into place.
You know, sometimes what the easier thing is, just to turn the grid off on Roll20 side, and just move on the grid that's on the image.
Sure, yeah.
Nick agrees, he's laughing.
So you say we see what we see, and I see a dead body over there that they're all standing over.
Well, there's also this blood trail here. There's blood trail here that leads to the woods.
They look armed. Swords, armor. They don't look like woodsmen or anything of the sort.
So you say they're not armed with axes. Because if they were armed with axes, they would look like woodsmen.
No, they're also, so one of them is actually armed with 2 axes.
So he's double as good. That's a lumberjack if I ever saw one. That's okay.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and put my hand up and go, shh, we shouldn't approach them.
Oh, now I have stats. Except for Andon. Andon doesn't have stats.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also, suspiciously, I thought that I had a different token.
This is your token.
Well, the token that's on my sheet is different from the token that I have dropped on the map.
Oh, okay.
That's why I say it's weird. I think maybe I'm set to a default token that I'm not actually using.
That could be a possibility, actually.
Yeah, you're set to a default token.
Yeah, I only bring it up because I actually made a token,
So they seem to be milling around, and there's the woods and the lake, and it's heavy snow. So you have a chance if you don't do a lot of noise, and you have a way to either retreat, attack them, talk to them, etc. There seems to be a lady among them, and she has 2 axes. The rest have swords.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought is you say, don't make a lot of noise, and I'm like, I hold my breath. I could hold my breath for an hour.
Okay.
Right. And I'll look over to Andon and go, what do you think?
Well, we can't see the dead body or anything like that. We can just see the the people.
Well, you see the blood trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also conceivably, are these deciduous trees or are they evergreens?
Pines. They're evergreens.
Evergreens? Yeah, so then literally we shouldn't be able to see through them. We should only be able to see the blood trail down here.
Okay, but you hear voices down here then.
Right.
I think it would be amiss to not investigate the blood trail. Someone could be injured.
I do agree, but we should approach with a plan.
That's true.
Stub their toe.
That's a lot of blood for someone that stubbed their toe.
Have you stubbed your toe lately? It'd be real painful. Maybe they hit the corner of a log.
That's probably someone has lost not lost a leg, but someone has been gravely injured.
Maybe they lost an arm. Well, if you guys want to lead the way, I'm following you.
And you hear the voice saying, well, you lot. That's what happens when you don't pay.